at the bottom. Just take that up and drop it on the floor. Hey everyone, Andy from Singletrack magazine, and I'm outside in my outdoor office once again, and this time I'm with the 2021 RockShox Lyrik fork. Now, if you're looking at this fork and thinking, hey Andy, what's the difference between this and the previous Ultimate? I'll be honest, there isn't a lot. The chassis is the same 35mm stanchions are being used, and even the graphics kit is the same. RockShox last year updated the Lyrik to Charger Damper 2.1, SKF seals and a new Maxima oil, and they're all the same on this fork too. But what has changed is the Debonair air spring assembly. Now you might think, well, that's not much of an upgrade. Well, it is actually. Performance wise, the upgrade is really good. And the upside of this very small upgrade is the fact that if you've got the previous 2020 Ultimate or even a 2019 Lyrik, you can put this on your fork. So what RockShox had found, what some riders had found, was when they're trying to set the fork up, the Lyrik up with the Debonair spring, sometimes it was quite difficult to get the stated travel and the actual travel to line up. And what you need to do is you need to equalize the negative and positive air chambers in the fork. And what that means is you let the air out, you cycle them a few times, you pump them up to 50 psi, you cycle them a few times, and so on until you get it to the air pressure desired for your weight and for the sag as well. The new system means that the air spring actually equalizes itself automatically. So all you need to do is whack them out the box, chuck the steerer to the right height, pump them up to the right pressure, check the sag, and off you go. That's it. Because everything else has stayed the same on this fork, all the settings are the same. Rebound, Charger Damper 2.1 are all the same from the previous 2020 Lyrik, so no changes needed there either. Simple, set and forget Lyrik stuff. So if we have a look at the new Debonair, this is the original Debonair air spring, and this is the air spring that you'll find in a 2019 RockShox Lyrik and the 2020 Ultimate. And as you see, we've got a small air piston here, and we've got a short foot nut at the bottom. Now, what RockShox found was, because of this equalization issue, they found that if they extend the foot nut and increase the size of the air piston so that a whole air assembly sits higher up inside the fork, it meant that the fork could equalize itself. But not only that, it meant that the ride height of the fork can be a little bit higher too, while retaining that small bump compliance. You've got this foot nut at the bottom. Just take that up and drop it on the floor, and you slide off the original air piston and you put this much larger air piston on that just slides in, and then you put this longer foot nut on, and that's it. And then you whack it all back inside your Lyrik. And what this does is this actually lifts the whole air spring 10mm higher into the fork. Inside the stanchion of the Lyrik, there's a small dimple in there. Now the air spring sits inside the dimple, and that allows the airflow to equalize equally. Setting up is much faster than before, more accurate, and also it means on the trail the fork is sitting higher in its travel, and actually you can really feel it. Sprinting into fast terrain, hitting downhills, and even climbing, you can feel the Lyrik is sitting much higher, but at the same time it's still super supple and progressive, and it's eating up all those little bumps and lumps in the terrain. In corners, the grip is insane because the fork is not diving down as much as it was. It's sitting higher. You can charge into corners and allow the front wheel to track the ground and find even more grip than before. So although the Lyrik Ultimate was already a really good fork, this small upgrade has really improved it. In fact, in the RockShox bump that they've sent out, they've not mentioned it's a 2021 fork. They just call it the updated Lyrik Ultimate because it is. It's just a small update, but a very worthwhile one. If you haven't already serviced your forks, if your forks are waiting for a service now, I would say take them apart, clean them up, and while you're in there, swap over to this new air spring assembly because it really does work. And as you can see in these riding shots, the suspension action is amazing. I was really impressed in corners, in the steep stuff, and it's very good. It's just, like I say, it's made a great fork even better, and it's such a small update. Now, if you wanted to buy this fork on its own, with the new Debonair spring in there, already it's £929. I'll have information on the pricing of this, and I'll pop that here. but I can't imagine it'll be too much, and fitting it will be pretty easy. So yeah, if you head over to Singletrack World now, you can find a full in-depth detail of the new Debonair airspring and the 2021 Lyrik, and also you'll find my first ride review of the fork too. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below, and yeah, see you all soon. Bye bye.